Yoga del Sol. Looks like we have some cool shadowing going on here today. Well, let's do a 30-minute all levels yoga. Just get your body moving. Flow today. So, yeah, it'll be 30 minutes. Let's go ahead and get started. Let's begin actually sitting on the balls of your feet, so your heels are up and you're kind of sitting on your bottom. Knees are together. And just sit up tall. Spine is erect. We're going to take our arms out by our side. Fingertips touch up. Then bring your hands down to heart center. Let's do that again as we breathe now. So inhale up. Exhale lower. One more. Inhale up. Exhale lower. Good. You can come off of the toes now. Just let the toes come down to the ground. The feet are down on the ground, just like this. Let's take a breath here. Breathing in and out of the nose. Try that again. Good. And let's come in to a tabletop here. So you're on your hands and your knees. Your feet are and legs are hip distance apart. Spine is erect. Let's take some cat-cows. Drop the belly. Gaze up. Exhale. Press the mat away from you. Chin to chest and slightly drop that tailbone down. Inhale. Belly drops. Heart rises. Exhale, chin to chest, cat. Take a couple more, moving with your own body here. Just moving with the breath. It's nice that you can pay attention to your own mat if this is a solo practice in your home. Keep breathing and moving here. Good. Come back to a neutral spine on the next breath. And then we're going to come onto the balls of our feet again. And this time, lift the knees off of the mat. And you're just going to hug around the knees. Or maybe just take your fingertips onto the mat. Let the head be heavy here. Roll the chin along the chest from side to side. I have a little crick in my neck, so I feel it kind of get caught. It almost feels like it's getting caught. So you want to just roll the chin around, letting the head be super heavy. And if you find a little knot or a spot that gets caught, go back and forth here for a moment. Keep breathing into the belly. Good. Then raise the spine up towards the sky. Walk both arms over to the right side and just take a little twist here. So inhale, spine rises. Exhale, twist deep behind you. Inhale, spine rises. Exhale, twist deep. Let's switch sides so both arms come to the outside of this left leg. Inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, twist. Just gaze over that right shoulder. Is that the right or left shoulder? Inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, twist. One more inhale. Exhale, twist. Good. Come back to center here. And we're going to come back down onto our knees. Take your hands back underneath your shoulders. Walk the hands a couple inches up towards the top of the mat, spreading the fingers wide so we can come into our first down dog. So you're going to uncurl the toes. Feet are hip distance apart and just move around in your down dog here so you can bend your knees one by one. You really want to press into the mat with those knuckles, the index and the thumb especially. Your gaze is towards your belly button or your thighs, so the neck is long. Breathe in and out of the nose if you can here. Keeping the legs firm by relaxing the heels. Good. Then we're going to slowly, try to walk slowly. The feet come to the top of the mat. Keep your hands planted. Feet are underneath the hips, and you're just going to fold forward here. So letting the knees bend generously. And just hold here for a moment. You can grab onto your elbows and just hang in a ragdoll here. Maybe you sway from side to side. Switching sides, the way you're grasping your elbows, just ragdoll it out a little bit, keeping the feet planted into the mat. Good. Take your fingertips onto the mat underneath your shoulders. Heel toe your feet mat distance apart. Your spine is long, looking out in front of you. Good. Then you're going to grab onto your elbows here and fold down. And with the arms, you're going to draw figure eights. So just like you're drawing a figure eight, the head is heavy. Good. Hopefully that makes sense. Good. Come to center. Grab around the outsides of the feet or the heels, and you can kind of pull down as your tailbone lifts towards the sky. Weight can kind of shift forward into the balls of the feet. Shake the head out, yes and no. You can keep a slight bend in the knees, yes and no. Good. Hands come underneath the shoulders. Look out with a flat spine, so that's just lengthening the spine out long. Heel toe the feet back underneath the hips. Good. Fold forward again. So bowing the head down. Slight bend in the knees. Decompressing the spine. Shake the head up. Yes and no. Then we're going to roll up to standing. So root to rise. Arms are heavy. Push into the feet until you're up to standing. Roll the shoulders up by the ears and down your back as we stand tall here in a mountain pose. Just come into this by grounding in your feet, arms down by your side. Core is engaged here. The shoulders are away from the ears. Take a couple breaths here. Bring your hands to heart center. Inhale up, and you want to lean back out of the hips a little bit, little back bend. Exhale, bow forward, hinging from the hips. You can bend the knees a lot. Keep the arms firm by the ears until the hands meet the mat by keeping a bend in your knee. Halfway lift, so look out in front of you. Keep the spine long. Then you're going to step the right leg back. Come down to the right knee and the right toes for a low lunge here. So uncurl those toes, looking up, breathing into the belly, releasing any clenching in the thighs and the hips. Good. Step into a plank for a moment. So shoulders over wrists. Plank, then lower yourself down, knees, chest, and chin come to the mat. Slide onto your belly, uncurl the toes, hands are under the shoulders, kind of pushing into the hands, keeping the elbows bent for baby cobra. Then press back to a down dog. We're just doing some slow sun salutations here. This is just a slow flow here. Looking forward, engage the core, step that right foot up in between the hands, drop the left knee and the left toes, sinking low here, looking up. Step the left foot forward and bow down, so bend the knees, head is heavy. Look out in front of you, straighten out the spine, bring the arms out by the ears, engage the core, come all the way up to standing, and you want to hinge back slightly. Prayer in front of the heart, arms by your side, exhale, come to prayer. Inhale, reach up and back. Exhale, bow, hinging from the hips, bending the knees if you need to the hands, come to the mat, drop the head. Look out in front of you, step the left leg back, drop the left knee, left toes. Plank. So engaging that core to step the right foot back, come into a plank, shift the shoulders over the wrist. Lower down knees, chest comes straight down, elbows in, chin or forehead. Then uncurl the toes to slide forward onto your belly as you look up. Down dog. Looking forward, engage the core, bring that left foot forward in between the hands. Help it up with the hands if you need to. Then drop down to the right knee, right toes, low lunge. Looking up, releasing the thighs. Step the right foot forward, bow down. Look out in front of you, bring your arms out, come all the way up. I have a A-frame roof here, so I'm kind of limited in my stretching. Hands come to heart center, arms down by your side. One more on each side. Exhale, prayer. Inhale, reach up and back. Exhale, bow, hands to the mat so you can bend your knees, drop the head. Inhale, halfway lift the spine out long, step the right leg back, drop right knee, right toes. Left leg comes back, plank. Lower down knees, chest and chin or forehead. Inhale, push into the toes, come onto the belly, baby cobra, lift with the heart. Press back into a down dog. Press into those hands, tailbone lifts high. Step the right leg up, so bend the knee, bring that right foot all the way forward. Drop the left knee, the left toe, sink down into the mat. Step the left foot forward and bow. Look out in front of you, rise up with the arms by the ears if you can, reach back. Prayer, arms by your side, exhale, prayer. Inhale, reach back. Exhale, bow. Inhale, half lift. Step the left leg back. Drop knee, drop toes, look out. Right leg back for plank. Lower down knees, chest, forehead, keeping the elbows in. Inhale, cobra on your belly, baby cobra. Exhale, down dog. Bring the left foot forward. Help it up there with the hand if you need to. Drop down to the right knee, right toes. Look out in front of you. Step the right foot forward, bowing down. Look out. Bring the arms out by the ears. Come all the way up. Hinge back. Prayer. Arms by your side. Beautiful. Take a breath here. Let's close our eyes here for a moment and just rock back and forth on all four corners of your feet here. So I want you to notice feeling the heels and the balls of the feet rocking, challenging your balance a bit. Keep going. Good. Then come back to standing. Hands come to heart center. Open the eyes. Bring the arms up overhead, reaching back. Bow forward. Hands come to the mat. You can bend the knees, drop the head. Look out in front of you and step both legs back to a plank. Lower down to your knees, chest, and forehead. Inhale, baby cobra on the belly, gazing up. Kneecaps are lifted, elbows in. Press back to a down dog. Good. And after that, just building a little bit of fire, we're going to do a couple of nice movements here. So inhale, the right leg up into the sky, the toes point towards the mat, the inner thigh is lifted, shoulders square. Exhale, you can look forward, bring the right foot all the way up in between the hands, drop down to the right knee and right toes. Bring the arms up by your ears for a low lunge. So you want to deeply lunge forward, feel an opening in the hip right here, the left hip. Goal post your arms and open your heart, looking up. Take your hands behind you and interlace them together, pulling open the heart, the throat towards the sky. Good. Then you're going to take your hands down onto the mat. You're going to shift back on that right heel and come into a half split. So that right heel can move up a little bit. Your right hip will go forward. Your left hip will go back. Just square the hips. Take the fingertips to the mat up by your foot as far up as they can go. Straighten out the spine. So looking up. Exhale, fold forward, and then you can flatten out the hands or whatever you would like. If you have a block, you can place a block under the hands. Half split here. Maybe you lengthen again, so inhale, stretch the spine out long, come to the tips of the fingers maybe. Then exhale, fold forward. Couple deep breaths here. Getting rid of some tightness and tension, some stagnant energy trapped in our body. Good. Come back to the low lunge. So just with the knee though. So the right knee comes over the right ankle. Come down onto the elbows for a lizard pose. So elbows and forearms. Keep that left leg straight behind you. And maybe you come to the pinky edge, sword edge side of that right foot so the knee can fall open to the right side. So you can hold lizard here or the foot is flat. Or you can take your right hand and press the knee away from you as you kind of twist open to that right side. Relax the left toes. Breathing. Good. If you are twisting, bring your hands back to the front, your head back to the front, straighten out the arms here. You're going to plant the left palm in the mat, come onto the left toes, and we're going to twist open to the right side. So the right arm stacks on top of the left as you gaze up to the sky, possibly breathing in and out of that belly. Good. You're going to take the right hand down and walk both hands over to the left side. The feet point towards your side wall, and your hands come underneath your shoulders here, and you look out in front of you, and then fold down. So folding the head down, the hands can walk to the back of the mat. Maybe the backs of the hands come down to the mat. If your head is not touching, you can shake it yes and no. Keeping the weight kind of leaning forwards into the balls of your feet, tailbone lifted. Hands come underneath the shoulders. You're going to take your hands onto your hips and pull yourself up to standing. So engage that core, pull yourself up to standing here. We're going to come into a goddess pose. So your feet will point out as your heels point in, and then sink low. Maybe you kind of take your time to get into it. Sink low into a goddess squat here. Keep the tailbone tucked under slightly, the chest lifted. Take the arms out to goalpost arms. Sink a little lower. Good. Straighten the legs out. Take your hands to your hips and just shift towards the back. You're going to walk that right foot in a little bit for pyramid pose. So straighten out the spine. Your feet are on like train tracks. They're not in front of one another. Then you're going to fold forward here. So take your hands down to the mat as you get down there. And just try to keep the legs straight. And think of bringing your chin to your shin here. Feel the stretch behind the leg. Maybe you can play around with that right foot. Walk it in a little bit more. Maybe your hands come to prayer behind your back. So lengthen out your spine, hands come to prayer maybe. If not, keep your hands on the mat. And you want to bring your left hip back, right hip forward. Good. Take your hands down to the mat, step back into a plank. Lower down, knees, chest, forehead, or chin to the mat. Inhale, press into a baby cobra, so slide onto your belly. Uncurl the toes, gaze is up, elbows in. Press back to a down dog. Bend your knees a little bit in a down dog. And then tilt your tailbone up to the sky, then straighten out the legs, heels drop towards the earth. Still pressing into those fingers. Don't forget about the hands and the fingers. We want to protect the wrists. Head is heavy. Gaze is to the belly button or the knees. Inhale, bring the left leg up this time. Toes pointing towards the mat, core is engaged, the inner thigh lifts. Exhale, step that left foot up in between the hands. Come down to the right knee, right toes for a low lunge. The arms come up into the sky by your ears, lunging forward. Maybe you grab onto your elbows this time and open up the heart, the throat, leaning back slightly. Good. Take your hands down to the mat. You're going to come into that half split, so shift back onto the left heel. Walk the left heel out a little bit in front of you. Get your hips square. Come onto the fingertips. Stretch the spine out long. Then exhale, fold forward. Let the head be heavy. Maybe you try that again. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold forward. Head is heavy. Opening the back of the left leg here. Breathing in and out of that nose into the belly. Bending the left knee so it comes over the left ankle. We're going to come into lizard. So come onto your forearms and your elbows here. Straighten out that right leg behind you. The right toes come to the mat. Your shoulders are over your elbows here. And you can hold here. You can twist onto the pinky edge side of that left foot. Or maybe you try to open the knee a little bit by taking the left hand onto the knee, twisting and opening. Deepening the stretch with each breath. Good. You're going to bring your hands back to the mat. We're going to plant the right palm in the mat. Pick the right knee off of the mat and lift the left arm up into the sky, stacking the arms over each other here. Peeling the chest open to the sky. Strong in the arms, strong in the glutes and the legs and the core. Good. Take the hands down to the mat and walk them over to the right side. So we're going to wide-legged fold the same way we did again. Hands come underneath the shoulders. Stretch the spine out long. Shoulders away from the ears. Stretch out long. Inhale, look out. Exhale, fold forward. Walk the hands back. Maybe you grab onto the outsides of the feet if that feels good, or the legs. A nice little inversion here, giving the heart a break. Take your hands back underneath your shoulders, engaging the core. I seem to have lost my elastic here. Take your hands onto your hips, pull yourself up to standing. You're going to bring your heels in, toes out for goddess. So again, maybe you shimmy back and forth until you settle down in a nice goddess here. Arms open up into goalpost arms. Keep the chest open, and like you're squeezing a pencil in between your shoulder blades behind you, open up. Lift the heart in the mid-spine. Can you internally lift up and open? Look up, look back, sink low. Good. Take your hands to your hips. Come to standing. Shift towards the front of the mat for pyramid on this side. So feet are separated on train tracks. Walk that back foot up slightly. And you're going to square the hips off. So bring the hips right to where they're both in an even area. Breathe here. Lengthen up. Then fold slowly forward, bringing your hands down to the mat. Good, and folding the head down, letting it be heavy. Play around with that back foot. You should feel a big opening behind the right leg. And again, maybe you try to aim your chin for your shin. That's a nice way to open up in this fold. Maybe you take your hands behind your back in a prayer position so you can lengthen and straighten out your back again. Hands to prayer, then fold forward. Shifting slightly the right hip back, the left hip forward. Feet are in the mat, grounded. Head is heavy. One more breath. Good. Take your hands down to the mat. Step back into a plank. Lower down to your knees, chest, forehead or chin. Uncurl the toes. Hands under shoulders. Inhale. Lift the heart for baby cobra. Exhale. Press back to a child's pose here this time. So knees are spread open wide, big toes touch, and you're going to melt your heart down to the mat. Just breathe here. Surrendering. Maybe you can think of one thing that you're grateful for. A person, a place, a thing, a memory. And notice how that feeling makes you feel. Try to radiate that feeling as often as you can. Come back to what you're grateful for. Good. Walk your hands back towards your body. And we're just going to come onto our backs for a Shavasana. So make it to your back however you can. And your feet will splay open to the front corners of the mat. Arms down by your sides, palms facing up. Let the shoulders tuck in and relax underneath you. And take as long as you need here, trying again not to attach to your thoughts. Not moving, not itching. If you're emotional today, you can picture a bright light over your heart, giving you strength as you breathe. If you're intellectual today, you can picture a bright light over your third eye, forehead center. Om Shanti Namaste.